Think of today's panel.
That was super interesting. We certainly learned a lot, both about the Denver experience and also about what some stakeholders in our community are doing. And again, the key here is for us to be prepared, to have looked at options, and to be proactive when the federal legislation changes, not to react to it.
Was there anything Denver said that really surprised you that you weren't expecting?
I have heard before, because I've had the conversations before, about the preponderance of edibles. I didn't realize it was half of the total consumption. And I know that in Denver's early days, they hadn't really thought about regulating the sale of edibles or the manufacture of it. So this is something that we're going to have to look at federally, provincially, and municipally.
So what are the next steps? Like, people have learned a lot. Councillor said it was fascinating. Where does the city go?
Well, part of it is developing options for ourselves using this task force that we've got. But also part of it is getting ready for the federal government's response to their own task force, because we don't want to do too much work if the feds are going to go a different way. But there's some things that we know we're going to have to get in place, like distance rules around zoning. So we'll have to present some options on how to do that in our land use bylaw to council over the next several months.
Je demandais juste en français, est-ce que vous pourriez me dire c'est quoi vos préoccupations principales par rapport à l'arrivée de la légalisation de marijuana?
C'est important pour nous de faire le travail maintenant, avant que le gouvernement fédéral fasse ses changements. Et pour moi, c'est important que nous sommes proactifs avec toutes nos régulations de ça, et particulièrement dans les choses de building code, aussi de zoning et tous les renseignements, la distance entre les endroits dispensaries, I guess, les dispensaires, les dispensaires et des écoles, et aussi entre des dispensaires. So, toutes ces choses comme ça, c'est important pour nous.
Is there value in the way that Denver approached this and having a single office to deal with basically everything to do with the issue?
Maybe. I'm not sure, because the other thing that we heard from the gentleman from Denver today is that in addition to their single office, they have a bunch of changes in everything from the city's attorney's office to the bylaw section to the excise office. I love that they have an excise office. So we'll look at different models here. I'm not particularly interested in hiring a whole bunch of people at the city to manage this, but the real issue, I think, is getting the regulation right so that our existing business license inspectors and so on can actually do their work.
One last question.
Do you have any sense in terms of what this might mean for state revenues beyond additional business licenses?
Well, really, we'll just get just additional business licenses. I don't think there'll be much more than that. The real question is whether the province is going to get money off of any special marijuana tax and the extent to which they'll be sharing that with the cities. I think the Colorado-Denver model is actually a pretty good one on how the state and the city can work together.